Against Adamians 32 by 52 of the series, the four-footed animal with an underground den which tunnels in the earth and has its burrow deep inside it, it is called a mole. All its characteristics are like those of a small puppy, for it has the same round shape and has no sight at all. It is a destructive creature which roots out people's crops from below, especially if every cucumber bed and the south-tasting plants, onions, garlic, post tassels and the like, and lilies and the rest. But if it actually gets onto the surface during its tunneling in the open air, or if it is hunted and caught by men, it's an object of ridicule to everyone who hunts the creature. With all this, I am trying to say of the sect with, with which I now have to do, that is blind in heart and stupid, creates desolation for itself and undermines the ground it stands on, and jars the roots of many, I mean of those who have happened on it. But if it should be spied by the wise, it gives them a good laugh. As the creature we spoke of is mocked for its blindness and cannot find its hole because of its lack of sight, so is the sect. For they have adopted the name of Adam. I say, I say this because I have had it reported by many. I have not found it in any treatise, and have certainly not met any such people. And so, since many have spoken of the sect, I consider it wrong mentioning, and this is why I was right in comparing it with that blind animal which is not really readily seen by man. It is hidden in the hut in the earth, and thus its damage below. Now it is completely absurd, and I considered not including it at all. However, as long as there is even a rumor of it, it can do the wise hero no harm to know about all the tales the devil has sown in the world. For whether or not there is such a sect, since I have heard many say that there is, I think it is sensible to speak of it for safety's sake and not leave it out, or even if it has been dissolved and is no longer in being, for I am not certain whether it still exists or not. But why should I spend a long time on my prologue to their description of it? I shall begin my account to the ridicule, or rather of the sorrow, for it is susceptible of the two things at once, ridicule and sorrow. Sorrow at the devil's way on planting contempt for God's creature in the human mind, ridicule of those who can neither see nor conceive of anything sensible. In the first in the first place, they say that they say that these people build their churches or dens or caves. That is what I would call the meetings of the sects in heated rooms, and that they heat them from below so that there will be hot air to warm the congregation, the chamber inside. And when they come in the people in they have people and when they come in, they have people to watch the clothes, like cloakroom attendants stationed at the doors, and they each, whether man or woman, undress outside as they come in, and enter with the whole bodies as naked as the day they were born. And the recognized leaders and teachers all sit stark naked, some in front and some in back, here and there in no particular order. They are called continent, if you please, and make a boast of it, and virgins, as they delude themselves into thinking they are, and they are, and they have, and they have the readings and all the rest of their service naked. But if it appears that one of them has fallen into transgression, as they put it, they do not admit him anymore. They say that he is Adam after eating from the tree, and condemn him to expulsion from the church as though from paradise. For they think that the church is paradise and that they themselves are Adam and Eve. Why do they hate the room to keep getting and to keep from getting a child? Adam and Eve didn't live in house without furnace and weren't oppressed by any heat, and though God afflicted them. They had the pills of air. They had the pills of air temperately dispensed to them by God with all might, with all mildness, neither sharpened by the rigor of cold, nor enervated by the summer's wretched heat. The country had been set aside from an immortal world, very well made by God, filled with gladness and well-being, and as I said, it got neither cold nor hot. Since the Adamians lack these things, it is plain that they are joke. Next, let us look at another way of exposing the whole imposture. Adam and Eve were not naked for an hour, they were always naked and were not ashamed. But the nakedness of these people is not from lack of shame, even if they themselves think so. They are naked for the sake of an insatiable pleasure which works in enchantment of the pupils of the eyes. The modesty commended in all the sacred scriptures has been taken from them, and words of the prophet are truly fulfilled. The appearance of an harlot has been given thee, who has been shameless with all. But after that hour they resume their clothes outside, and so they cannot be Adam. Adam and his wife were not furnished clothing at the outset. They sewed fig leaves together first, and then they were given skin tunics, and so after a considerable part of their lives, the manifold wisdom of God endowed them with the knowledge of clothing. These people will also at be judged at in every way, because in calling themselves Adam and Eve, they are lying about themselves and yet at the same time telling the truth. For it is plain from many indications that they are not Adam, as I have shown, but that they are mocked by the spiritual serpent is plain from their false symbolism, their nakedness, shame and absurdity. It is not worth my while to make a big thing of their reputation. To kill a beast the, of the sort one does not need weapons of war or heavy armor. It is dispatched with a little stick. Often, when it has been pulled from its den, it is merely left alone and dies of itself, laughed and joked at with nowhere to run to, as these people, when they are caught, are put to shame by the ridiculous absurdity, unseemly behavior, and silly religion. But now, as we prepare to look into the rest, let us pray the Lord. Let us pray the Lord once more for His assistance in finding out the rest and refuting them, and for our salvation and that of our readers.